Welcome into another game, and it's going to be a good game, or at least something a little different. So straight away I can say we're on Nomad, and in the blue we have the XRVK, the CKF now. Tim, for those who don't know, CKF, I believe it's Chinese Kung Fu. I think that's the name of the team, but it's a new Chinese team that's come up. You've got like VG Paladin and everyone like that, all in that team now. I think Mr. Yo's there as well from RVK. So should be in for a little bit of a treat from them, actually. They're looking to be like a quiet, strong team, honestly, especially now that Tim's actually going to be able to use teamwork, because he'll be able to actually understand what his allies are saying. So that brings up Skype and things like that for them. And in the red we have Jordan 23, and he's actually being spectated by Viper right now, so it is Jordan actually playing. And we'll turn on the Fog of War because we'll have a look at what everyone's exploring right now, and there's not going to be a lot, so let's speed it up. And things to talk about, there will be, if you haven't been on AOC Zone recently, I recommend you hit it right now, mainly due to the fact that there is going to be a Viper versus Jordan best of 15. It's going to be essentially the next battle for first place, because why? Fact is, Dowd hasn't been playing a lot recently, and I'm pretty sure Jordan and Viper pretty much have the top of the ladder secured to them. So that'll be an interesting one to watch. I think the time is Monday 14:30 GMT, so should be a good game. It's going to be cast by Dreams and a partner who we don't know who will be yet. So either way, it's Dreams stream. Everyone's going to be happy. There's no reason not to watch. So if we have a look quickly at the map, have some villagers exploring around, have a sheep up here, which is normal for Nomad, especially land Nomad. It's the same kind of deal, except one has water, of course. But the sheep generally go out to scout as much as possible, and then as soon as you've got your wood up to get your fishing ships out, then you jump straight onto these sheep. And if we look at where Tim's scouting, he hasn't managed to find Jordan yet, which is good. And if we check Jordan's scouting right now, he's got quite good coverage. As we can see by his score, he's 100 points up, but he has had a lot more sheep, which really helps. And we'll just actually have a look at their surroundings nice and quickly, just to make sure everyone's alright, and we'll see who's got the better position. So Jordan, straight off the bat, 2 boars, lots of sheep about. He's got a good gold pile towards the back here. 2 more sheep down here. Actually, I hit view lock there by accident. But he knows they're there as well, so he's going to be able to grab them. A massive amount of deer available down here, and only a house going up. I thought we might have seen a mill, but wouldn't be surprised actually if we see a mill go up here, because, well, you know, it's going to be good. And what else? I should probably note that both players are playing as Persians. Most people who watch, well, see Nomad, generally always start as Persians, so I'll probably say that because every now and then you can see something different. But this deer patch here could make a big difference in the game, especially with this gold here as well. That could be really good or really, really bad, depending on if it gets harassed. If it gets harassed and is that far away, it'll work out really badly. If it stays out of Tim's vision and he gets all that food in, he's going to absolutely smash away at this game. Berries, of course, as well, going to be good for the late game. He's got these 2 stones around here, so we could even see a trush from him right now. Like I've said, gold's in a good position towards the back there. And as we can see, we've got a little bit going for Jordan, making sure Jordan's on top of his game. Because, well, as we know, Viper's a pretty damn good player right now. And it looks like we see the house going up. But let's see, have we seen each other yet? It looks like Jordan could have noticed Tim there, mainly due to the fact he's got the exploration to here, and I think and if you see that boar run across there, you would know that's just about where Tim is. So, Tim, let's swap over, let's see if he's seen Jordan yet. He hasn't seen him yet at all by the looks of it. He knows there's a house here, and there's a house there which is really close, but he hasn't managed to see it yet. So I think he's still a little bit confused as to where he is. However, he is going out to get gold by the looks of it. But Jordan there, walling in his gold, blaming it like a champion. Well, when it's a game, if you got the chance, you lame. And that rhymed. So, mining camp going up for Tim. Looks like he could be going for archers, and as well, getting on a little bit of walling. Because, well, why not? This is actually so brutal. But the fact is as well, both players are starting to go up. Tim going up already, Jordan going to be up a little bit quicker if we slow it down and just check the pops nice and quickly. So villagers, of course, trying to get a little bit of harassment in there, and of course walling these off for Tim is just going to be an absolute pain. Population wise for Jordan we have 28, Tim we have 28 as well, so it's a very close game. Interested to see if either player goes water. Tim looks like he's going to be going water. What are you up to, Jordan? Are you going to be going water? Looks like he's going for some galleys there. He does have the second dock up already. I think Tim is still stuck on one. So Jordan's definitely going to have the advantage here. However, by the time the galleys get up here, Tim's probably going to have 2 galleys out anyway. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch. Anyway, tower is going up here on the high ground, which means it's going to put a lot of pressure onto Tim. He's either going to have to move back to this gold here, move out to this one over here, which he knows exists, mainly due to the fact there's already a house here. But this one moving back to here, of course, it means mainly he's going to have to have a lot of trouble getting all this down. Like, some of these things, that only has 1 hit point, which means it's probably not even started right now. But that villager there going to die, mainly due to the fact it was trapped there, so a bit of misplacement there from Jordan. But it looks like Tim will be able to win this small villager fight. More villagers that have been brought off for Tim, so he is trying to get a little bit more damage. However, Spearman is in play right now, and that means we can see a little bit of harassment coming out from Jordan. This tower up over here going to do quite a bit of damage. Well, just more harassment than anything. Shouldn't be doing too much. They do have their loom upgrade, and we haven't seen any blacksmith upgrade, so it's going to take quite a bit before it really starts to disturb. Tim finally going out with that barracks, because of course he realizes he needs it. And, well, what else do we see? He's quite heavy on the stone, actually. Could see a lot more towers from him. Could potentially, and it looks like he's actually got 2 docks up over here, so he might actually win the galley fight. But over here saying that, he's had to move all his fishing ships. Small fight going on here as well, but still most of the action will come here by the looks of it, because it looks like Jordan is really trying hard to make sure Tim can't get any of that golden. So let's check that scouting game. Pretty much the whole map's been scouted for Jordan. If we have a look at Tim, he's still missing a big chunk here, and a little chunk here, but still not that too big a deal. Looks like they will be moving to this camp over here. I don't know if Jordan knows that one exists. Let's have a look. I think he scouted pretty much the whole map. Yes, he does know it's there. However, I don't think he knows Tim has discovered it, because he hasn't noticed his house, so either he hit it really early or not. Tim looks like he's going to be going with the double archery range play. We do see the blacksmith finally going up for Jordan. Looks like he's putting out one range beforehand, which is kind of weird. Usually see the double range, because they generally seem to favour unit production over upgrades. But, you know, Jordan likes to micro, so he should be able to if he wants to. You know, he's like 2.5, I can't really tell him what to do at this stage. So, another archer range going up, starting to get those up as well. Let's have a look at Tim. Is he going for a big skirmisher, or... Yes, Tim is going for a big skirmisher complication here, which means that he should be able to counter these archers without too much trouble, meaning that Jordan could be in a not-so-happy spot. Jordan currently behind on score as well by about 200 points right now. It is quite interesting, but tower is going up right now for Jordan, but being pushed back by these skirmishers, of course. Tower here could potentially put down a bit of damage. This outpost definitely being useful for Jordan, mainly due to the fact he's been able to scout pretty much everything. And if we head back to the middle of the map, we can see even more just damage going on towards both players. Tim's starting to switch into a bit of an archer composition now. Hopefully he has his upgrades. We should be able to check quite quickly. Yes, and yes, Jordan already having that armor upgrade, which is really important. So in comes Jordan's attack here now, going to be able to get quite a bit of harassment. Once those villages are garrisoned in the town centre, not going to be able to do a lot else. All these villages here look like they're going to have to be forced to run away, mainly due to the fact they're up against skirmishers, and well, they don't do a lot of damage, but it's enough to kill them off. So it'll be interesting. We do have those archers coming in now, which is really important, mainly due to the fact they just do so much more damage. Doesn't look like he's going to lose a villager here. Should get them back to the town centre. No, he won't lose anything. Jordan putting on some good harassment at this stage, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to knock him out of first place. So Tim, again, trying to just defend this area here by the best of putting up 3 towers, which is a lot to have to defend one, well, gold pile, but of course that's the only one he has left right now, so without that he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Whereas if we look, a lot of the stones are actually towards Jordan's half of the map, especially just here we have, I don't know, the golden triangle of stone, well, the grey triangle of stone, mainly due to the fact that this is going to be worth so much in the late game. So many castles can come out of this, especially as if you're playing a defensive game. Castles are really important, as well as putting up those defensive towers. If we have a look over here, Tim's got the 1 here. I don't think there's any more. Wait, there's 1 down here as well. Tim's seen it. Yes, he knows it's there, so he can always transition onto that one if he really needs to. So there's not really too much advantage right now. Jordan has done a great job pushing Tim off this gold here, which is really going to hurt him gold-wise. Like we saw, he was forced to produce quite a few skirmishes there, until he got this gold camp over here up. And slowly getting killed off here. This tower up here just for the sake of it, I think. But again, we do see Jordan starting to go to Castle Age, just halfway there. Tim going up to Castle Age, sorry, so halfway there. Jordan is not. This is where things are going to get interesting. He's going to have to get that food count up, and he should start advancing now. Yes, there we go. But he is quite far behind Tim. Tim's going to be able to get some knights out. He's already got that stable up ready to produce. don't know if he's got any upgrades, but once that goes up, those knights... you've seen knights being used in multiple games. You've seen Tim's expertise with knights. He knows exactly what he's doing. And if he gets that count up before Jordan has a chance to counter it, getting out a lot of spears, or either getting his own knights out, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So let's check Tim right now. There should be knights in production. Yes, there we go. And Bodkin Arrow currently being done. Don't know whether he's going to stay in kind of Archer one, or if he's just doing it mainly due to the fact he's got these skirmishes out already. But the second stable is going up, which means we are going to see quite a bit of damage. We see even more stone for Tim right now. Looks like he's collecting up towards a castle. Either that, or he's planning on putting up some defensive towers to keep his main area over here safe. And again, we haven't seen a lot of galley combat actually, which is great in my opinion, because galley combat's really dull. But still, this knight here going to be able to just hack away at these units, and there's not a lot they're going to be able to do about it. And what we got? One knight over here. Might see another one here. He's got enough food to do so. Looks like it's all going into... No villager production either. Oh well, suppose he knows what he's doing. More knights being created. Another spearman out by the looks of it. Let's actually have a look at how many spearmen Jordan is going for. Spearmen, yes, he's still creating more and more and more, which is good, mainly due to the fact, as we know, knights, they're just not cost effective versus pretty much spearmen, pikemen, halberdier. Even spearmen, they're just annoying to go up against because you know you're not getting your money's worth out of them. So, nothing else too interesting going on across the map. Let's speed things up while we wait. Knights, of course, going to be able to do quite a good job. They do have that first armor upgrade. Jordan hitting Castle Age, though. Going to be interesting to see what he goes with if he decides to go Cavalry Archers. Looks like he's going to boom. He's putting up a town center here. And honestly, surprised he didn't go for these deer. That could have been a really big boost to his economy. But we see that town center going up, mainly due to the fact that, of course, he's going to be able to defend quite well with it. And off that topic, of course, he's going to be able to keep pretty safe from these knights, because of course you can't take down a town center with knights unless you have a really large number. And of course they don't have the range that crossbows and skirmishers have, so they can't really pick them off as easily. Naturally they do quite a high amount of damage, but the fact is, well, they still have to run in around. They can't just sit here and pick off a villager and just pick off multiple ones. Stable is up for a Jordan, however I don't think he's going knights right now. I think he's focusing on his boom. He knows that Tim doesn't have enough to touch him right now. Saying that though, Tim's score is starting to get a bit up. Siege Workshop going up, the town centre as well. Are we seeing another one? None on this gold or stone down here yet. War Galley upgrade has been done right now for Tim and Jordan. But the fire ships as well in here, 6 armor on them, 6 armor on them anyway. But still going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. We do see more and more fire ships coming into play. But of course, because of that, can be a bit of a difference. Of course, fire ships do quite well against galleys. And are we going to see anything else interesting? Interesting that the dock's over here for Tim. That's really interesting. I'm surprised Jordan hasn't actually attacked that yet. Actually, does he know it's there? No, he doesn't. If those spears moved a little bit, he would know. But until then, that dock will remain in peace. Checking out what he knows about Tim. Knows he's going for that single stable at this stage. Doesn't know he's got the double up, so he doesn't know if he's massing knights completely or sticking with archery units, because of course we do know archery units are quite strong at picking off villages. Persians are pretty much known for their cavalry, so it wouldn't be a big surprise if that happened. Another town centre going up, so that'll put Jordan on a good 3 town centre, which means we'll be able to go for that 3 town centre boom. Of course, having them in this area as well, it means there's quite a small area to try and protect, which mainly means the fact there's going to be a lot of fire coming onto those knights, anything in the area, and the villagers should be able to garrison without, well, any hesitance, which is always a plus. So 2 town centers up for Tim still. Does have that siege workshop up, so he could be going for some early aggression here. And it doesn't look like he's producing anything yet. He's actually quite low on the resources, but has a few knights out in play, trying to get a little bit of harassment. But Jordan getting his own knights out right now, and it's starting to look actually quite bad for Tim. He doesn't have a lot of resources available to him, even though I'm saying that he does have quite a good macro. The lower your resources are, the better. Mainly means you're spending it, but if you don't have enough resources to spend to keep low, then you're in trouble. It's kind of hard to explain. There's probably at least one person out there who got what I said then. But skirmishes are out in play, but again, knights are out for Jordan, so they are going to be pretty much a null and void. Camel is out for Jordan already, which is quite predictive. And Monastery as well, so I think he's really expecting Tim to go for really hardcore knight mounts. But saying that, there's only that one knight there, and the rest seems to be archers, so could go badly for Jordan here if he's predicting the wrong type of play. Only skirmishes though. Castle going up right now for Tim. Very smart placement. Going to be able to clear out that gold area without any hassle. Because of course we do know they go up quite quickly. Third town center going up for Tim. And over here could lose quite a few villages actually. Let's see what he decides to go for. See if these injured villagers actually make it out. Losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these knights will probably force a retreat here. Either that or they will back themselves into a corner. And let's see what they're going to do. Looks like nope, they're just going to stick around and try and pick off as many villages as possible, which is always a pretty decent plan. Skirmishes, of course, they're going to be able to clean them out without too much hassle. These guys over here just hanging out because, of course, I'm expecting that counterattack from Tim, but until that does, and the best thing about Tim putting that castle up there for Jordan is that he knows he has it, which is always a good thing to have. If you run into your opponent's castle unexpectedly, it can really hurt, but he knows that one's there at least now, so it should really help him out. So let's speed this back up, mainly due to the fact that nothing's really going on. Mining camp going up. This house here should be taken out pretty quickly. We can see that Jordan is going for relics right now, so he's in it for the long run, going out with a few more monks, because of course we do know these knights will be really easy converts for them. And looks like these elite skirmishers though not going to be able to do a lot of damage to those monks. So those monks could be a good thing to have right now. And in comes the raid by the looks of it. Where are you going? There we go. Has he started moving the monks? No, this might actually kill off a villager or two. Mainly just one here by the looks of it. And losing that one there, but again, town centers, of course, being really close and easy to use for Jordan, mainly due to the fact that position. He's built his base really, really smartly, mainly due to the fact that, well, if you look at it, there's a lot of fire that's going to be coming in on those knights. Units are moving in now, only got that +1 armor on those knights, but also having the +1 attack. Tim not having bloodlines yet, either does Jordan, +1 defense only, so he's a little bit behind Jordan in upgrades, but it's no real big deal at the moment. It's only one upgrade, so it's not going to affect too much. Looks like these villagers over here are getting hurt by this tower quite a bit, actually losing a villager there, which is really going to hurt him, and losing another one there as well. Another fort castle, well, a fort castle going up for Jordan, which means he's going to be able to keep this area locked down, which is exactly what he wants. This area, though, still mining gold. But again, if he manages to lock this area down, it's going to mean a lot less gold for Tim, and that's going to be really hard for Tim to contend with. He's going to have to go into pretty much full trash, and the way Jordan's playing at the moment, he's going to be able to just keep powering out with those gold units and do quite a bit of damage. Monk trying to get some converts here. Are we going to get one? Looks like it will be killed off by... Nope, losing that monk before he could get the convert. But this castle will be going up now, so nothing that Tim's going to be able to do to stop that. It does have quite a low amount of hit points compared. But, saying that, Tim playing quite a good game. And against that, Jordan playing equally as well. Castle, of course, getting a little bit of damage, but I don't think it has murder holes, so these knights will be able to do quite a bit of damage. And yes, no murder holes there. Spears, of course, going to be able to just try and get that cost of effectiveness out of those knights. And battering ram going out for Tim, so he really wants this castle down. He knows he needs that gold, and without it, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Currently 38 minutes into the game. More fire ships moving around. There's still a bit of warfare going on the sea, but not a lot, nothing really big to draw attention to, mainly due to the fact that a lot of the wood from both players is going into this. Quite a little bit of gold as well, because as we do know, war galleys are quite expensive on the gold and the wood toll. Looks like this ram here going to be taken out. Camels, of course, not having the best pierce armor in the world, so they do take quite a bit of damage from castles. Looks like we've got another forward castle going up for Tim right now, trying to really get that defense on, and another castle going up for Jordan. Looks like this is going to be a 2-on-2 castle warfare right now. More knights in play for Jordan, and a lot of spears actually out for Tim, so it could be quite dangerous for Jordan right now if he doesn't get a cost-effective engagement. And of course, that ram there, that's going to really call his knights to move in, and if Tim moves in with these pikemen, which have just been upgraded now, going to be able to do quite a good job. But of course, these castles can be able to whittle those numbers down really quickly. And what's he going to do to deal with this? Is he going to move in with the knights, or is he's not going to just let the castle go? There's that castle there up. Jordan's one about to hit, and 2+2 armor on there now, so they will be taking slightly less damage. And here we go. That ram will be taken out. The next one will be taken out as well, and which knight's being attacked by the arrows? Both of them by the looks of it. losing 2 knights in that, but keeping his castle up, so definitely worth it. Taking out 2 rams in the process as well, so it's definitely a worth engagement. That villager there getting taken out. Another ram coming in for Tim right now, and this is going to be a really interesting just play over here to see what they actually decide to do. Another siege workshop going up for Tim, and I don't think Jordan has anything to actually kill off this ram, which is going to be really important, because if this castle goes down, Tim's going to have quite a good area here, and if he gets a good foothold on this gold, it's really going to hurt both players. Mangonel is coming out, probably the smartest idea there from Jordan, mainly due to the fact he's going to be able to take it out from afar, and that means he's going to be outside the castle's limits. And saying that, of course, it's going to be a lot less damage going his way. It's going to be a lot more cost effective. Quite a few villages moving out across the map now, probably to that stone there, as this one here is done. Looks like the water control still in no one's favour. Pretty close to both players at the stage. Both of them pretty much transitioning right out of it. They don't really want it at this stage, I don't think. There's not really a lot of fish left up here. Over here, though, definitely still worth going. If we look around, there's just a lot of fish available. And there we go, there's another battering ram over there getting taken out by that Mangonel. Another castle coming up behind that for Jordan. Mangonel is in play. We do have 2 of them right now, so he's being able to deal with those rams without too much trouble. But it looks like we're seeing quite a big force actually being built up by Tim. No, he's just making it look like it's a big force by putting 1 unit in every barracks, that's actually smart play. You do see this a little bit in Feudal Age, because it's really hard to gauge your opponent how many units they have in there. So it could be a cost-effective engagement, could be a really bad engagement, could lose more than you need to, could lose less. It's that kind of thing that really helps pro players in that kind of matchup, mainly due to the fact they've really got to rely on their skills, and he advanced at this time, he can't have more than this. He's got X amount of villages on wood and food, he can't have more than X amount. It's a really interesting way to put it, but still a very, very interesting thing to say. So let's speed it back up right now, because again, we're just seeing a bit of a stalemate here. The 3rd castle there really going to help for Jordan if it comes back, because, well, if it really comes back, and Jordan actually hitting the Imperial Age there, Tim nowhere near it at the moment, so it looks like we are seeing another archery range go up, and another one. What are we going to see? Whether or not it's... Well, I'm actually interested to see what we're actually going to see out of Jordan right now. Could be going for some form of cavalry archer harassment, could be going for really anything. Just looking around, I can't particularly see him going for anything. Castle Warfare still going, of course. The trebuchets are out. This is going to be probably the turning point of the game. Tim's going to be in a lot of trouble pretty much from now, because he's not going to be able to get in there and deal with those trebuchets. And without dealing with them, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Could have even just been going for the archer ranges to take out the amount of pikes that he knew Tim had. But of course, trebuchets at this point in the game, if you're not able to counter them, they are just absolutely ridiculous to try and deal with. Because like we can see, they're just sitting in this little area here, the safe zone. And until Tim either puts out some knights, and I don't think he actually has any at all, he's not going to be able to run in and snipe them. So until then, he's going to pretty much be behind. I wouldn't be surprised actually to see the GG anytime soon. Jordan really getting in there with the early harassment, and by harassment I mean mainly just the fact he's got this palisade wall up. And of course doing that, it's really slowed him down. The harassment is coming in from Jordan right now. Of course that Imperial Age just being absolutely amazingly helpful. Tim is actually going up, so he is going to be able to counter this quite quickly. However, if he's going to have the resources available to do so, will be the most interesting part, because he's lost both of his castle right now, and I don't know if he does have enough resources to build up another one, but I don't know if he's going to have what it takes to deal with Jordan's just harassment after this stage. Of course, this trebuchet is going to be absolutely ridiculous to try and deal with. The hand cannon's, of course, going to cut down any kind of infantry that really tries to push in. So, all in all right now, Jordan up by 2,300 points, going to be able to take this game just pretty much by storm. And he may be hitting the Imperial Age now, but I don't think he's going to have what he needs to deal with this. He does have some crossbows out, I nearly said arbalests, but crossbows of course are quite decent versus hand cannons. They do have the +4 upgrade on them though for defense, which means they're going to be really actually resistant to that, but of course they only do have 35 hit points, and at range they are quite, what would you say, inaccurate. So these rams here, looks like they're going to get picked up as well. Another castle going up for Jordan right now, really putting up the castles. He needs to keep this area defended, because of course once this area over here runs out of gold, like it has, Tim's not going to have any gold units to deal with this. And if we come up and look at his gold count, it is increasing at like 1 per second, and that's mainly due to the fact that he's got relics. So at this point, he's not going to be able to bring out any units to deal with this. He does have halberdiers out, but as we know, he's gone for more of a hand cannon push. He is bringing out some cavalier now, which is going to be really helpful. But Tim at this stage, he's GG, he's not going to be able to do anything. Capped Rams, going to go in for one last push by the looks of it. All units going in, and if this fails, it's going to be GG. So let's speed this up, because we do know Rams are really, really slow units. And here we go. Coming with this Cavalier, going to get in there. As we know, Onagers, of course, well, just Mangonels, going to be able to deal with these extremely effectively. And Hand Cannon's just shredding these Halberdiers down. Naturally losing a few Cavalier because it is quite a high concentration of Pikemen, well, Halberdiers in this army. But again, these Mangonels are just going to be able to absolutely rip away at pretty much all of, well, these Cap Rams. This castle might even stay up if he's lucky. And hand cannons are being taken down slowly, and crossbows are being taken down even quicker, mainly due to the fact that, well, castles do a lot of damage to archers, especially when they've only got 0 armor on them. And it looks like this castle might just stay up. We do have quite a few Mangonels out here, and I don't think they're moving up. And Tim resigning out there, knowing he's not going to be able to deal with this force. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to head over to AOC Zone. I will put a link in the description. Check out that game, and make sure to hit the games, because they're actually going to be great. I think it's like past midnight for me, but I will definitely be there as long as I'm not working or anything. So I will see you guys in the next